Hello friends, in the series on income tax cases, today we will discuss a very important case. The issue before the Honorable Delhi High Court in the present case was that if the assessment of an assessee for a particular assessment year is completed by a assessing officer under section 143 subsection 3, so whether can some another assessing officer B can complete the assessment of the assessee under section 147, meaning thereby that whether the assessment under section 147 can be completed by some another assessing officer who has not completed the assessment of the assessee under section 143 subsection 3 earlier. This issue has been taken up by the Honorable Court in the case of Kumar versus Deputy Commissioner of Income Tax and another, and this case is reported in 381 ITR at page number 428. The date of the judgment is 15th January 2016. The matter relates to the assessment year 7-8. The assessee has filed the return of income on 18th September 2007. The assessment of the assessment year 7-8 was completed by the Deputy Commissioner of Income Tax on 13th April 2009. After completing the assessment of the assessee on 13th April 2009 under section 143 subsection 3 by the Deputy Commissioner of Income Tax, the notice under section 148 was issued to the assessee on 14th March 2014 by the Income Tax Officer. When this notice was issued to the assessee even did not file the return of income against that notice. The assessee raised the objections that my original assessment has been completed under section 143 subsection 3 by the Deputy Commissioner, so my 147 assessment should also have been completed by the Deputy Commissioner of Income Tax and not by the Income Tax Officer. The objections were rejected, so the assessee filed the writ petition. When the matter was heard by the Delhi High Court, the court said that in the present case, the notice under section 148 has been issued to the assessee by the income tax officer who do not have the jurisdiction over the assessee. And when this fact was brought to the assessing officer, then another notice was issued to the assessee, which was beyond the limitation period by the Deputy Commissioner of the Income Tax who was having the jurisdiction over the assessee and who has completed the assessment of the assessee under section 143 subsection 3 earlier. The court said that the second notice is null and void because it has been issued by the income tax officer who was not having the jurisdiction over the assessee, and the second notice under section 148 is bad in law because it has been issued to the assessee beyond limitation period. So the court said that the assessing officer who has completed the assessment of the assessee under section 143 subsection 3 should have issued to the notice to the assessee under section 148 because he is in a better position to know that what the assessee has not shown in the earlier assessment, due to which the urgency has arisen to issue the notice under section 148 to the assessee. Friends, this case is very important because the notices are issued to the assessee without assuming the jurisdiction of the assessee. In the present case, the department was pleading that there is section 2 clause 7A, which talks about the definition of the assessing officer, which also includes the Deputy Commissioner of Income Tax and the assessing officer. But the court said that definition only gives that which type of officers are there in the definition of the assessing officer, but that does not mean that the officer who do not have the jurisdiction over the assessee can issue the notice to the assessee. So in this case, a very clear message was there by the Honorable Delhi High Court in the case of Kumar versus Deputy CIT that the officer who has completed the assessment under section 143 subsection 3 should have issued the notice to the assessee under section 148. At the end of this video, once again I am repeating the name of the case. The name of the case is Kumar versus Deputy Commissioner of Income Tax and another, and this case is reported at page number 381. And this case is reported in ITR 381 at page number 428, and the date of the judgment is 15th January 2016. Thank you, friends.